The exhaust manifold alignment tool measures the variations in the alignment of the cylinder head exhaust manifold mounting surfaces. After determining the alignment, the required gasket thickness to maintain exhaust manifold alignment can be calculated. Alignment is only an issue when a recon or distributor-built cylinder head is used that has been machined on the exhaust manifold mounting face.
With the 25-gauge spring steel wire inserted into the block, mount the block to the number 1 cylinder head exhaust port. Mount the other block to the rear cylinder head exhaust port. Inspect the wire to be sure that there are no kinks or bends in the wire. Insert the wire into the rear block and bend a hook on the wire to install it in the hole on the rotating shaft.
Turn the tensioning rod on the block attached to the last cylinder head until the wire first becomes taut. Continue to tighten the tensioning rod to specification. While maintaining the torque on the tensioning rod, tighten the set screw to hold the rod in place. Insert the gauge between the wire and each exhaust manifold mounting surface. Record the value for each cylinder head on a table like the one shown here. Remove the tool from the engine. The tool is designed to hold the wire 0.030 inch from the front and rear cylinder head. Therefore, each of these cylinder heads begins with a 0.030 gasket. Use the measurements taken at each cylinder head to determine the adjustment to the 0.030 inch reading. For example, cylinder number 2 had a reading of +10. This equals 0.010 plus the standard 0.030 to equal a gasket thickness needed of 0.040 inch. Cylinder 5 had a reading of -5. This equals the standard 0.030 minus 0.005 for a gasket thickness of 0.025. Complete the calculation for each of the cylinders. The thinnest gasket that will be available is 0.020 inch. If any of the cylinders requires a gasket thinner than this amount, all of the gasket thicknesses must be increased proportionally to utilize a 0.020 gasket. For our example, cylinder number 4 needs a gasket thickness of 0.015. To raise this gasket to the 0.020 level, each of the gasket thicknesses must be adjusted up by 0.005. The thickest gasket that will be available is 0.035 inch. A reading of more than 0.035 requires that all of the gaskets be decreased proportionally. However, if it is not possible to decrease the gasket thickness and keep the thinnest gasket needed to 0.020 or greater, the gaskets can be stacked to achieve the desired thickness. For our example, the adjusted gasket thickness for cylinder number 2 is 0.045 inch. The gasket thicknesses cannot be reduced because cylinder number 4 is already at the minimum gasket thickness. Therefore, we will stack a 0.020 and a 0.025 gasket to achieve the desired 0.045 inch. In this section, we will look at the procedure for installing the exhaust manifold on a QSK 45 engine. The procedures are similar for the QSK 60. When installing the bellows-style exhaust manifold, care must be taken to properly align the sections of the manifold and the various sections of bellows. If the cylinder heads have been reconditioned, the correct gasket thickness must be determined. Refer to the exhaust manifold alignment procedure in this section for more information. Using the correct gaskets, install the center exhaust manifold with the turbocharger support. Center the section on the mounting holes and torque the manifold to specification.
Install a bellows section to each end of the manifold section. The bellows in and out must be oriented in the direction of exhaust gas flow. Secure the bellows to the manifold using V-band clamps. Do not tighten the clamps at this time.
Using the correct thickness gaskets, install the front and rear exhaust sections. Center the manifold sections on the mounting holes and torque the cap screws to specification. After the manifold sections have been aligned and tightened, torque the V-bands to specification. Do not torque any of the V-band clamps holding the bellows until the manifold sections have been torqued. Install lock plates on the heads of all of the exhaust manifold cap screws. 3 different service tools are available to provide access to install the lock plates. The 2-stage turbocharger system used on some QSK60 engines utilizes a frame to hold some of the air system. To remove the frame from the engine, a minimum of 12 inches of vertical clearance is needed over the engine. Refer to the service literature for removal and installation procedures. Never support another exhaust manifold section with a bellows connector. The stress will cause premature bellows failure.